Sometimes the scariest sounds are the ones you're not supposed to hear. Tonight's story is about a college student who moved into what seemed like a normal apartment until the footsteps started. What they discovered above their ceiling was something that was never supposed to be found. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more scary stories. I was a sophomore in college when I moved into a cheap apartment near campus. The place wasn't great. Thin walls, creaky floors, a weird draft that always whistled at night, but it was affordable. I lived on the third floor, the top level, with only one other unit across the hall. Above me, according to the landlord, was just empty attic space. That was the first red flag, because the very first night I stayed there, I heard footsteps. Not faint, not old building creaks, but clear, deliberate footsteps. Slow pacing. Sometimes heavy thuds, like someone dropping something. And once, this is what really chilled me, I heard the distinct sound of furniture scraping across the floor above me. I asked the landlord about it the next morning. He gave me a look I can't describe, half annoyed, half nervous, and told me flatly, "There's nothing above you. That unit's been sealed for years." But every night it was the same. Between 2 and 4 a.m., footsteps, dragging sounds. Once, something that sounded like whispering, muffled through the ceiling. I tried to record it, but whenever I played the audio back, it was just static. At first, I thought maybe the landlord was lying. Maybe someone homeless was squatting up there. Or maybe he rented it under the table. After a week of this, I decided to leave a note. I slipped a piece of paper under the upstairs door. It said, "Hey, I hear you moving around up here. If you're stuck, I can help. Just let me know." I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe no reply. Maybe someone telling me to mind my business. But what I got back froze my blood. The next morning, slipped under my own door, was the same piece of paper. Except now, written in shaky handwriting, were the words, "Don't tell them I'm here." That was when I stopped sleeping. The next few nights got worse. I'd wake up to the sound of breathing above me. Not just footsteps, breathing, like someone lying on the floor right above my bed. Once I heard scratching, long fingernails dragging across the ceiling. I called the landlord again. This time, he snapped. "I told you already," he said. "That unit is empty. Stop asking." But his voice cracked when he said it. I decided to take matters into my own hands. One night, around midnight, I grabbed a flashlight and went up to the 4th floor door. It looked old, layers of paint, a rusted lock. But it wasn't sealed like he said. The knob turned. I pushed the door open, and immediately my stomach dropped. The unit was completely empty. No furniture, no curtains, just bare walls. The air was freezing, much colder than the rest of the building. And the dust. There was so much dust on the floor, it looked like snow. But right there, in the middle of the room, was something impossible. Footprints. Fresh ones. Bare feet. Small, leading in circles like someone pacing. I followed them slowly, my flashlight shaking in my hand. They went from the center of the room to the far wall, and stopped. Just stopped. Like the person vanished into the wall itself. That's when I heard it. Breathe. A long inhale, right behind me. I spun around, shining my light, but the apartment was empty. Just empty walls and footprints. I backed out, slammed the door, and locked it. That night I barely slept. And when I did drift off, I woke up to a noise I'll never forget. Something tapping on the ceiling, directly above my bed. The next morning, another note was under my door. This one said, They know you saw me. I panicked. Who were they? Was this a prank? Was someone messing with me? I tried to move out, but the landlord told me my lease was locked in for the year, unless I paid a massive fee I couldn't afford. He looked almost relieved when I said I wanted out, like he expected this. That night, I tried sleeping on the couch, away from the bedroom ceiling. Around 3 a.m., the footsteps started again. Only this time, they didn't stay upstairs. They came down the stairs. I swear to God, I heard someone creeping down, one step at a time, the wood groaning under their weight. I turned off my lamp and held my breath. Then, silence. I thought maybe I was imagining it, until I saw the shadow. It stretched across the crack of light under my front door. Thin, spindly legs, just standing there, not moving, waiting. I sat frozen for what felt like hours. At some point, I must have passed out from exhaustion, because the next thing I knew, it was morning, and there was another note under my door. Don't leave. They'll take you outside. I started researching, dug into town records, old forms. That's when I found something. An old news clipping from the 80s. There had been a family that lived in the building, a mother and her daughter. The daughter went missing one night, vanished without a trace. The police suspected the mother, but no body was ever found. A year later, tenants started reporting noises from the unit upstairs. People said they saw the little girl walking the halls at night. Management sealed the unit, claimed it was unlivable, but the stories kept coming. That night, I decided to record again. I set my phone on the floor, recording while I pretended to sleep. At 3:17 a.m., I woke up to the sound of whispering. Low, childlike whispers coming from my ceiling. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The next morning, I checked the recording. Most of it was static, but near the end, right before the recording cut off, I heard a little girl's voice whisper, "He's next." And then, my name. I moved out the next week, broke my lease, lost most of my savings, but I didn't care. The landlord didn't even argue. He just handed me the paperwork with shaking hands, like he knew this was coming. Sometimes I wonder if I really escaped, because even now, in my new place, some nights I wake up at 3:17 a.m. and I hear footsteps above me,